Dear participants, welcome to the session on computer vision. It is a part of online training and certification course on artificial intelligence and machine learning. This course is run by Defense Institute of Advanced Technology, Pune, in association with DRDO. I am Dr. Sunita Dhawale, working as an assistant professor in DIT, Pune. In previous session, we saw different kind of shape features or descriptors. So like boundary descriptors, then we have seen the movements, fine. We did the movement analysis, a lot of descriptor from various domains we have seen. And in today's lecture, we will see the Huff transform, how it can be used in case of shape analysis. So this is a outline for today's presentation. So first we will have the introduction about the Huff transform, then we will see the algorithms, and then we will also recap all previous sessions, whatever topic we have covered so far. So we can say Huff transform. It is a global technique that finds the occurrence of objects of a predefined shape. So the shape can be, let us say, line, it can be the circle, or it can be the ellipse. Fine. So it is used to identify the shapes within a given binary image containing some disconnected points. So that means there might be problem of missing edge, continuity, or many spurious edge lines. Fine. So let us see with some example. Let us say you are having such kind of object present in your image. Fine. So this is your object. So generally what you will do, you will find the edges. So which kind of filters you can use in for the edges? Edge detection filters like what? Canny or Sobel or Robert cross filter. We have seen all these examples. Fine. And the output what we will get are nothing but some edges. So let us say you have got such kind of edges. Sometimes due to the noise in the image, it may happen that the edge, you may get the edges, but due to noise there may be some kind of breaks in the edges. Fine. In that cases, you need to fill these particular edges. So you need to do what? Edge linking. Or sometimes it may happen some occlusion may be there, isn't it? Because of which you don't know whether the line exists in that particular thing. So in order to connect these particular edges, okay, you manually you will not, you can't do. Fine. So you want the machine to do such kind of automated edge linking. So this task should be automated using any algorithm. So here the Huff transform will play role because it can detect a line. Fine. So it identifies the lines in the images, positions of arbitrary shape like circles or ellipses. Fine. And also you need to think that edge is not a line only. Fine. And we need to search a line at all possible particular points. Fine. So in case of, let us say, vehicle lane detection, okay, in that case some part of the lane may not be visible. In that case you need to predict the particular lane in a proper way. Fine. So their Hough transform can be play role. Now this algorithm is invented by what? Richard Duda and Peter Hart in 1972, and it uses the simple principle of representing the line y equal to mx plus b, and it will try to generate the maximum vote for the possible line in that particular parameter space that is denoted by the MB, which we will see subsequently. Fine. So this is a image space, let us say. Fine. Here what happens, this is a parametric representation of any line. So is given by what? Y equal to mx plus c. Okay. So in parameter space m and c, so these are the two parameters. Any straight line in the image space, so this is a, let us say in image space, this is x and y because image is 2D. When they need to have the xy coordinates to plot this particular points. So this is a image space. Any line, straight line in the image space can be represented using a single point. And any line that passes through point, let us say some xy or xy in the image, is given by what? C equal to, it comes as a C equal to minus mx plus y. In that particular form it will come in the parametric space. So we will see with some example. Fine. So here you can see yi equal to mx plus c. So xi, yi, I am just putting this value. I will be what? All the points. I refers to the index of all points which lies on that particular line. Fine. So that's why c comes as a what? Minus xim plus yi. And this parameter space, when we plot in terms of what now? C and m. Fine. So that's why you are getting in parameter space, the whole line is plotted with a single point. We will see with some examples, so you will come to know the logic behind that. Okay. So let us say this is my x and y axis, and let us say the point is at 1 1, and let us say this is some 3 3 location, and this line passes through some origin. Okay, 0 0. So these are the 2 points. So using the formula y equal to mx plus c, hence c I can write as a minus mx plus y. Fine. And I need to map this in case of plane m versus c. Fine. So if I put the value 1 1 here, so what we will get? First point, let us say P1, P2. P1 is having the value 1 1, P2 is having the coordinates 3 3. Fine. If I put the value 1 1, what we are going to get here? Minus m, okay, plus 1. Fine. Minus m plus 1. This refers to the C. Fine. And in using the second point, this is using P1, and using second point minus 3m plus 3. This is a, let us say, using 2. So if I put C equal to 0, so here the value will lie, isn't it? If I put C equal to 0, in that case, what value of m I will get? it will be what? 1 0. So in case of C equal to 0, I will get M equal to 1. So here somewhere the value comes. So both P1 and P2 will lie at this particular point. And that means what? Both the points, any line can be denoted with 2 points on that particular line. Fine, which lie on that line. So here two different points, or I can say any point on that particular line will try to map at this particular one single point. So many pixels, I can say, those will get mapped on a single point. Fine. So this particular concept is utilized in case of detection of a line. Fine. So on a half space, the line may go like this. See, infinite line may go at that particular point. Fine. And now how we can find out that particular line? Using various scales on the C as well as M. Okay. Keep on putting the values of xi value pair which is obtained after the edge detection, and if we put, and then we can get the maximum vote for that particular location only where the actual line need to be present in that image space. Fine. So that technique we will see in detail how the algorithm works here. Fine. So here first what we will do, quantize the parameter space. So that is a M and C we are trying to quantize. Quantize means what? Discrete level of M and C we will have. So M will start some minimum value M min to M max. Fine. So when we say quantize, okay, what it means? M will range from some M minimum value to some M maximum value in a discrete domain. So similarly C will change from C min to some C max value. Fine. This is what it means, quantize the parameter space, because it is not a continuous domain. Now next what? We have to create a accumulator array. So this is a array, accumulator array with the index M and C. M denotes what? Let us say rows, and C denotes the columns here. Fine. Then set A, M, C equal to 0. So initially I will put all zeros in each and every location in this parameter space. For each image edge xi, yi. So once we apply the edge detection on a given let us say image, I will get some edge pixels. Fine. So these are nothing but my edge pixels. Okay. This may be in a broken or some broken links. Fine. But maximum edge pixels will be there on this particular area. Fine. So these edge pixels are in the form of what? Xi, yi pair. Fine. So now we need to take each and xi, yi pair, and we need to calculate what? For a given C value, okay, for given M value, we will count what? Calculate what? C value. Fine. Using what equation? C equal to xi M plus yi. Fine. And once we calculate, if MC lies on that particular line, okay, so that means we need to increment what? That particular AMC. Fine, that location we will increment. Okay, so we will enter our vote for that particular xi value, xi yi pair at that particular location AMC. Okay. And once we get all the details filled here, so we increment the counter at that particular location where we get the maxima, local maxima in AMC. That tells me the actual location of that particular line in the image space. Fine. So this is how the algorithm works. So this is, let us say, original image. If we try to apply the edge detection, we may not get a properly linked edges. In that case, we can apply the Hough transform and get the location of this particular line. If you see, it has printed the line, and in the parameter space you may get local maxima are nothing but these bright points, okay, where you have got the maximum votes for that particular thing. Fine. So this is how it works. So if you see the previous model, okay, it is not it is inadequate in representing the vertical lines, because in case of vertical lines, what is happening? In case of vertical line, if the line is vertical like this, so that means the slope is what? Slope or m parameter becomes what? Infinity. Fine. So the previous parametric model using what? C equal to minus mx plus y. This particular model is not adequate in representing this particular situation. And to address this particular situation, we need to have what? Second kind of representation of a line. Because line is represented into two different forms. First, this y equal to mx plus c form, and second is what? Rho equal to x cos theta plus y sin theta. This is another form. We will see in detail, okay? So that's why we need to use this particular form, where rho, or here it is represented by d, it is a perpendicular distance from the line to the origin, and theta is the angle this which is perpendicular to the angle of this perpendicular, which makes some angle with the x-axis. So we will see in a proper diagram how it works. So let us say this is my x-axis. Fine. So this is my y-axis. Okay. And now let us say this is my line on which I am having some perpendicular. Okay. And theta is what? Angle that this perpendicular makes with the x-axis. So this is my perpendicular. It makes some, let us say, theta. And this is a distance from what? Origin to this particular line. So this is my actual line. And this line can be represented in terms of rho. Rho is a distance of the perpendicular distance from the origin to this particular line. Okay. And the theta is what? Angle formed by this perpendicular with the x-axis. Fine, understood? So these are the rho theta parameter, and rho is expressed in terms of x cos theta plus y sin theta. So how it will go now? Every line has its own rho and theta, that means, fine. So every point can have infinite lines that goes through this particular rho and theta. And this rho theta will uniquely define that particular line in the image plane. So this is the image plane, fine. And what we need to map now? Rho versus theta instead of what? M versus C in the previous case, fine. So that means we are going to quantize rho as well as theta, and theta will change from what? Some theta minimum to theta max. Okay. Generally the values will be what? 0 to 180 degree, or 360 degree, like this. Fine, it will change. And if you see the nature of rho, it's a sinusoidal in nature. So when you try to plot the theta versus rho, okay, so it will be sinusoidal in the nature. Fine. And again you need to do what? Calculate the maximum. So let us see, we again we will initialize what? This accumulator, let us say H, rho comma theta equal to 0, and for each edge point I xy in the image, okay, now theta will range from, let us say, 0 to 180 degree. You are calculating the rho and you are voting at those points where it hits. Fine. So find the value of S of let us say where d theta is maximum, you need to calculate that particular d theta. Fine. And the line will be at that particular location in the image. Fine. Here you can use image gradient, or you can do the variation, like you can give more votes for the stronger edge. Such kind of variation you may use in order to get good votes for the actual line. Fine. So in that case, you can use for each edge point in the image, compute the this rho theta values based on the image gradients at xy, and you can increase the votes at that particular location. So this is how the Hough transform works in case of rho theta space. So this is alternate parametric space representation compared to M and C previous presentation, where the problem occurs when the particular vertical line is existing in the image. Fine, because the slope will be infinite in that case. Fine, and this particular rho theta representation will try to solve that particular problem. Fine, understood? So here we can take one example also how it happens. Let us say this is your x and y. Fine, let us say there is a h, this is 100 by 100 image. Let us say there exists some line, horizontal line at 50, and let us say at 25 also you are having some horizontal line. So L1, L2. Fine. So what is happening now here in the parametric space? If this is your rho and this is your theta, in that case, at that particular location where you will get this, at one location you will get the mapping of this whole line as one point. Fine, and at some another location you will get the mapping for this L2. Fine. So where it occurs at the location, what you will try to do, you will take the first point in the line, okay, and you will try theta changing from 0 to 180 degree. You will calculate the rho using r x cos theta plus y sin theta. You will calculate, and for every rho theta you will increment accumulator by 1 whenever it hits, okay, to that particular point. That is cell 50, 90 it comes. Fine, because this is a horizontal line, so at 90 degree you will get the hit. Fine, this is, let us say, 90 degree because we are changing from 0 to 180 degree. So at 90 degree, because it's a horizontal lines. Fine, so that's why theta will be what? At 90 degree, isn't it? So you will get the hit. So cell 50, 90 you will get the hit. Fine. So likewise you will get two different points where maximum votes will be there for this particular line. So you will take each and every value on this particular detected edges. Fine. So in this way this particular algorithm works. Okay. So in case of now Hough transform is capable of representing the circle also. Fine. If you have found let us say in an image you got certain kind of structures present. Fine. In that case, let us say these are the broken links. In that form, still Hough transform is capable of finding these circles. So you will get, after application of Hough transform, it will give you the proper contour for that particular coins, or let us say some image which is circular. So it uses the equation of the circle. This is xi minus a square yi minus b square plus r square. Fine. So a b you can think as a x0 and y0, that is some origin. Okay. So here three different parameters will be there. Then in that case three parameters will be there. Which are those? R, x0, y0. So you can assume that it will be the 3D accumulator. Okay, instead of previous 2D, because three different parameters present which you need to find out, and the value for x0 is given by what? X minus r cos theta, and y0 is computed by y minus r sin theta. Fine. For various values of theta. Okay, theta again ranges from what? 0 to 2 pi. And then you are calculating this all three values wherever on the 3D space, let us say. Okay, wherever you get maxima, we can say that is nothing but your actual point from where you can draw the circle. Fine. So this is how the finding the circle works. Okay. So you will get multiple votes for a actual circle. Fine. Similarly, you can find parabolas, ellipse, such kind of thing also you can find out. Fine. And there is another case which is called as a general Hough transform. Okay, which is capable of finding shapes which has no analytical expression. So what it means? Any arbitrary value shape it is capable of finding. There the concept of R table is used. Okay, fine. And let us say this is some kind of arbitrary shape. Okay, in that case we will calculate that this is a, let us say, tangent, and this is a centroid. From this centroid, let us say at this particular point there is a tangent. Okay, so it is a normal to that particular tangent. Fine. And this is a with respect to x-axis it is making some degree phi 1. So it generates accumulator which is having the form of phi 1 to, let us say, some phi n, all these angles, and each entry will consist of what? The distances. Okay, and wherever the maximum lies, that is nothing but the, it gives the vote kind of thing. Fine. So this is how this is a way by which it can calculate, because if you see every point you are if you want to determine this shape, you are calculating such kind of distance only, fine, with respect to each point. And this is how you want to construct this particular table, R table, in order to get the arbitrary shape. Fine. And where the R we can represent as a what? X dash y dash equal to x minus x naught, y minus y naught. X naught, y naught is, as we told, it is a centroid. With respect to centroid, you are calculating the distances. Fine. So we will see the demonstration of the Hough transform. Okay, and then we will have the recap of previous whatever session we have covered. So let us see in using the Python. Fine. Here. Okay. So again we will need what? CV2, OpenCV. We are using OpenCV for computer vision. Okay. So now let us say I am having one file, sudoku.png. Okay. So how it looks? This is a very simple Sudoku kind of game. And this is having what? Some lines. Okay. And I want these lines should be detected by what? Our Hough transform. Now let us say I have applied the canny edge detection. Fine. Due to which I have got received good quality of edges. If you see, fine, you can apply Sobel and Robert cross filter also. Fine. So this is what I am getting. And then what we will run? The Hough lines, CV2 Hough lines. So I am trying to find out the Hough, in the Hough space I am trying to find the things. Okay. And whatever points I will get, I will try to plot on the same image so that I can visualize how it looks. Fine. See. Hough is capable of detecting all those lines. Fine. Similarly, you can try with other kind of shapes also. Fine. Okay. So just having the recap of all previous sessions, whatever we have seen so far. Okay. So here the topic Hough transform completes actually. Let us have a quick recap of all things we learned till so far. So during part 1, we started with what? Introduction to image processing techniques. Then we saw images, noise and convolution filtering, different kind of masks we saw in this particular case. Then we saw the thresholding techniques, image segmentation. Then Otsu's thresholding technique, optimal, it is an optimal thresholding technique that we saw. Fine. So most, then in case of, let us say, image feature extraction. So as part of this, what we saw, we tried to apply the edge filters. Fine. So we saw the Sobel, Roberts, okay, and then Revit filters. Then we saw the Laplacian of Gaussian. Okay. Now Laplacian filter, it uses what? Second derivative. Okay. So they are based on the gradient concept. All the previous one uses what? First derivative. But Laplacian uses what? Second derivative concept. Then we saw canny edge detector. It gives better result compared to the previous two because of its multiple stages. Okay, like it does the noise removal and then it tries to apply the things. Fine. So that we saw in the previous lectures. Then as a part of then what we saw, the interest point detection. Interest point detection. Fine. Here what we saw, the Harris corner point detector. So in previous case we tried to find the edges like this. Fine. And here we in a Harris corner or Shito-Masi corner detector, we saw the concept that the gradients which changes both in x and y direction, that can represent a very robust points, fine, in a image, so that you can match the features. Okay, you can locate that particular features in a robust way. Fine. So Harris corner detector, then SIFT also comes here. We can say SIFT detector, okay, because it also tries to find out what interesting interest points. Fine. So we saw that also. Fine. And then we tried to check what descriptors. In descriptors, again SIFT comes into the descriptor also, because it gives the unique representation for the robust points which exist in that particular image, or robust features from any extracted objects. Fine. So we can say SIFT works as a descriptor. Similarly, we have seen that histogram of gradient as a one of the descriptor. Fine. And then later we concentrated on what? Various shape features. Fine. And there we tried to find out what? This Huff transform comes here. Okay. Then what? Moment analysis. Then region descriptors. Then we have seen what? Boundary descriptors. And all these kind of things we saw as part of this shape features. So this covers the first part. Okay, so boundary tracking, active contour. Here we have seen the how the concept of snake algorithm works, isn't it? In order to determine the minimum energy, it tries to reduce the energy in order to find the actual contour. In binary shape analysis, we have seen the concept of connectedness. Fine. So here we will stop. Okay. So you try to refer the following reference materials to gain more knowledge about the computer vision, and also try to implement most of the algorithms using Python. And in advanced session you will have you will get so in part 2 you will expect following topics. So we will meet them. Okay. You are free to ask your questions. This is my email ID. Thank you.